Dun, 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 dun. What up, folk? How we doing? It's Friday. How you guys doing? Did the kids shovel the snow yet? How's that going for you? Huh? Well, welcome to Montez at Midday. It's your boy Dre Montez, also host of Who's to Blame, the podcast. Thank you for the new followers that we have. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Really, really do appreciate it. We got some new YouTube followers now. We're doing good. We're being brought to you today by a title sponsor, The Weed Squad. Check them out. Check them on out. My man Robert to get you going, Miss Morgan, and the lovely Miss Jordan as well, and their award-winning staff will take care of you. Stop on by at 8088 Watson Road. But if you want to check them out online, go to DreMontez.com, hit those sponsors. You can find the Weed Squad right there. Find out all about them before you visit. But I hope all is well. You know what we have to do. High fives in the building. Chest bump. Birds on the back. Let's hug it out. You guys hug good, by the way. You guys are great huggers, by the way. Pat yourself on the back for that right there. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. Man Cave, I want to say participant. He's not always there all the time, but he's a relative of the Man Cave president. I want to say happy birthday to my man Kevin. Happy birthday to you, Kevin. All right. Anniversary, whatever you're doing, congratulations. You did a good job. You deserve it. If you're off today, congratulations. If you're going to the bar when you get off work, raise your hand. You know? You know, it took me a while to find a bar to hang out at when I moved out here in August. You know, from going from Soulard to Belleville, you know, you have early morning bars you can go to. And out here, I had a very difficult time in finding a place that opens up before 11 a.m. Yeah, I said before 11 a.m. I think 11 a.m. is a little bit too late to be drinking. I think 4 o'clock, there's something wrong with you. If you have a business that serves alcohol, you open up at 4, I think you have a fucking problem. And if you have a 6 o'clock bar, I'm just not going to do it. But it took me 2.5 months to find this bar. And they opened up at 6 a.m. and glad member, and they finally carried my beer, the highlight. And they're getting my 1738 next week. And they're getting my Chopin vodka next week as well. So I'm feeling pretty damn good, the fact that I found the place to call my bar. Took a long time. But if you want to follow the podcast, there's several ways you can do it. Going to DreMontez.com is one. And also, you can follow us on social media. We have a page on Facebook, Who's to Blame, Instagram, Who's to Blame, the podcast, and Twitter at W2B Dre Montez. And as I mentioned earlier, we're on YouTube as well, Dre Montez. Speaking of YouTube, the Man Cave members and I, T-Mac and Jay, we play NBA 2K quite a bit together. And yesterday I put our game on YouTube, so you can check it out. It's pretty cool to see what you're doing and what you did if you record your video game play. It's like recording yourself having sex. You know, you get to work on your technique, your game. What was your right foot doing? Well, you got to get that leg planted in. What was the choking moment? Did you really hear the safe word? But if you record your video game play, I guarantee your gameplay will improve. So check that out as well. As I mentioned, on YouTube, Dre Montez. And also on SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean, iTunes, Google Play as well. So there's all kind of ways you can hear my crazy details and ridiculous predictions about the world of sports. Speaking of sports, so apparently I must have missed the memo. The Brooklyn Nets must have won the NBA championship last night. Is that what happened? Apparently, I missed something. Are you trying to tell me that the Brooklyn Nets beating the Lakers last night solidified the whole NBA season? Get the fuck out of here. You got the dude walking with the stick, burning sage, fake pot belly, and what's going on with Kevin Durant's hair this early in the season? Man, get on up out of here with that. I'm not buying into it, and I'm a Laker fan. I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm a Laker fan. But there's no way in the hell I'm going to give that because, oh, my God, they held the Lakers to 98 points. That's a statement that Kyrie and James Harden trying to make. What fucking statement they trying to make? What statement? I got to hear this. What statement did they try to make last night? Please enlighten me here, NBA fans. Please. Come on. My God. All right, Major League Baseball. Pitchers and catchers report. You sexual people, I really meant baseball players. Pitchers and catchers report. It's about that time, guys. Birds on the bat. It's about that time. It's baseball season talking time. It's trying to figure out what's going on with the Cardinals front office, the lineup, who we didn't sign, who we did sign. Why didn't we go after that guy or this guy? Why did we go after this person? What's going to be the lineup? What's the batting order? All kind of scenarios that Cardinal fans love to have with one another. And none of us are going to get it right. That's the greatest thing about baseball. None of us are going to get it right. Speaking of getting it right, how do you feel about the DH? Being in the National League as well as the American League. How do you feel about that? I kind of like the DH. I do. I really do. I enjoy watching pitchers hit. Okay. The ones that can't hit. I mean, there's nobody that can hit like Greg Maddux did. But the days of watching the pitcher bat, to me, I'm done. I want you to concentrate on your job, throwing strikes. That's it. What's the best pitch in baseball? Strike. That's it. Throw a first pitch strike. That's all I want you to do. That's it. I don't need you to bunt the ball. I don't need you to sacrifice. I don't want to see that pitcher's jacket, that funny ass run you have. I don't care what you could do in college. This is now the pros. So the DH. It almost came to be a regular part of baseball in 1982. In the baseball meetings in 1980, then Cardinal GM John Claiborne was the front runner to bring the DH to the National League. And they did have 7 out of 12 votes. And it was going to debut in 82. But a funny thing happened. The Phillies did not want the DH. And the reason, the thing about the DH really was about attendance. Nobody wanted to see 3-2 ball games. They were loving seeing the 7-11 games, the 9-15 games. They were loving it. It was because of the DH. And the attendance was through the roof at these games that were having a DH. So the National League owners were like, hey, wait, whoa, slow up here. We're losing money here. Let's think about this thing. So John Claiborne went and pushed this deal for the National League to have the DH. But the main culprit of this thing was the Phillies GM. There was no cell phone back then the way we have today. There was no internet the way it is today. This son of a bitch went on a fishing trip with his granddaughters. So 4 of the votes didn't count because they were waiting on the Phillies. And because the Phillies didn't even vote on this at all, it ended up being turned down, the DH rule. But they actually won the debate and the votes 7-11. But when it all came down to it, out of those 7, only 3 really counted. Baseball is something else. But the DH has saved a lot of careers. A whole lot of pitchers that couldn't, a whole lot of baseball players that couldn't play position but could hit, the DH saved them. The DH prolonged some careers, really did. But in 1982, it was going to happen. But there's the one thing we get in spring training. Well, softball remix here. 7 inning ball games. Double headers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Putting a runner on second base in extra inning games. We get that during spring training. So that right there is my thoughts on the upcoming baseball season and how I feel about the DH. I applaud the DH. The National League, I love the National League. I mean, I love it. But that DH is something special. It takes a particular person. All you have to do is hit the ball. It's like having an EH in softball. You have one job. One job. Do not hit solo home runs. That is the one thing I hated in softball. I had a teammate that could not control his bat. He would hit a home run at the wrong time. I'm not talking home runs barely over the fence. I'm talking this dude would hit houses, the interstate, and the first thing he would say when he come back in the dugout, my bad, bro, man. But you knew going up there. We only have 5 home runs a game. We're out of them already in the third inning. Imagine that. We're out of home runs. Do not hit a home run. We were playing a game. The bases were loaded. We're down by 1 run. There's 2 outs. We're out of home runs. We're out of home runs. I tell the coach, don't let him swing. He's going to hit it out. He tells me, bro, man, I'm not going to hit it out, man. I'm going to use a different bat. I said, okay. As soon as the ball released the pitcher's hand, I start packing my bag. I knew he was going. He hit the ball so damn far. I was like, what happened? Man, it was my pitch. It was my pitch. Oh, man. Oh, the days of softball. If you play softball, hey, I have stories for days about the game. I could laugh and talk about the game of softball for probably hours and days at a time. It was a fun time of my life. 25 of the best years I've ever had. I think softball was better than being married. Oh, it's something wrong with me. It is something wrong with me. Okay, let's get on into it. Don't forget to support small business in your neighborhood and community, because without unity, we cannot have community. So get out there and do your part. Visit DreMontez.com. Hit the sponsors and do your support, and supporting all the major sponsors of the show. Thank you so much. And get your Mountain Man Scrub on. Mountain Man Scrub. Go to MountainManScrub.com. Good for your hands. Good for the elbows. Good for the knees. Good for the foots. You know how I feel about women's feet. And tattoos as well. It will replenish, make your hands feel like a baby's ass. Not saying you need to touch one to feel one, what I'm talking about. But check it out today. And that first segment right there is being brought to you by
Mountain Man Scrub. As smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
All right. Every time I see that, I just say, wow, look at that hair. Look at that headgear. That's a coyote on my head, by the way. Coyote on my head. Type in Dre if you go to MountainManScrub.com and get your scrub on for your promotional discount right there. You know, I watch a lot of strange things on television. Some might share, some I don't share, but I have the worst insomnia known to man. I stay up way too late. I can't sleep more than 2 hours at a time. I mean, it's not a bad thing, anything. Nothing hurts, nothing's bothering me, nothing is on my mind. But the things I see on television, is mind-boggling to me. I saw National Lampoon's Dirty Movie. I don't know where this movie was at when it came out, but I have a very, very dark, wild sense of humor. I mean, nothing offends me. I can pretty much laugh at anything. If you can't laugh at yourself, what you've done, it's something wrong with you. I laugh all the time. Hell, I've been married 4 times. I think that is the funniest shit ever. You know how many rings that is? You know how much money? I don't want to get into the money. But this movie, National Lampoon's Dirty Movie, if you have HBO Cinemax, it's on there. I, I encourage you to watch this movie. It's all about jokes. The movie is about jokes, the whole movie, and they touch everybody. There's nobody left out in this movie who they offend, or try to offend, or talk about. Race, religion, creed, color, sexual origin, height, width, they get you in this movie. I laugh my ass off at 4 o'clock in the morning. At 4 o'clock in the morning, you normally don't look for entertainment like that. I usually put it on Tum Tum, Law and Order. But this has been an eye-opening experience for me watching that movie, National Lampoon's Dirty Movie on HBO Cinemax. Check it out right there. As I said at the beginning of the show, for some reason, everybody think the Brooklyn Nets won the NBA championship last night. I think in the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NFL, I think these three here make it. You got the role players, you got bench players, you have non-starters. I think when you know and you identify with that and accept it, I think the team is much better. If you have somebody on the bench that's cool with being on the bench, that's a good thing. If you cool with a guy that's a non-starter still contributing to the team later on in the game, I want that dude. The role player, the guy that knows his role, knows his place, when you're comfortable with that. You had 25 people on the team, 15 people on the team, 53 players on the team. Not everybody's going to start. So once that gets through their head and they understand it, I think it becomes a better opportunity for them. But then you have the case of some athletes that don't accept the fact being a role player, being a bench player, being a non-starter. You have a lot of guys out there like that. And I think that's pretty much conduct detrimental to the team. I think that should be a fine, a penalty, a fine, a fine, and a fine. If you're disrupting the team's ultimate goal of winning because you're stuck in your fucking feelings because you don't understand your role, you're not accepting being a bench player, you're not cool about being a non-starter, what about the person in front of you? And then when it comes time for you, oh, this is my favorite part. When it comes time for you to be a starter and you get in that lineup, you're not performing. You're not putting up the numbers. Another softball story. I played ball with this shortstop. He was a good shortstop. Good. Hell of a shortstop. Go deep in the hole. That's what she said. He had an arm. He could hit. He could run. But he could do that during the week. Monday through Friday, he could do that. But on weekends, he couldn't perform. I tried to tell him. Tried to explain it to him. This is why you're not starting. Because you're not producing on the weekends as you do in the week. So he had the opportunity to play in a big tournament. Huge tournament. Huge tournament. Showcase. Everybody's there. And I said, hey, all that pouting and complaining you've been doing, our other shortstop couldn't make the tournament. You don't want to know why? His wife got the trip. I'm sorry, his girlfriend got the trip. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so this young man plays shortstop for us. And you talking about having a bad day. This dude had a bad tournament. I'm talking, we ended up playing Friday night. We won Friday night, but nothing was hit at him, really. Saturday was a catastrophe. And we only went to this tournament, kids, with only 10 people. After that turn on the ride home, he said, now I get what you're talking about. Oh, it took that. It took all of that. You sacrificed us for your own personal satisfaction. Some athletes I don't get or understand. But if you understand the fact that you're a role player, you're still contributing to the team. You're still a part of the team. If you're coming off the bench, you're still contributing to the team. There was an NBA player the other night had 40 points off the bench. 40 off the bench? Non-starters. You're still a part of the team. It's okay. So what? Nobody's buying your fucking jersey. Why nobody in your house even buy your jersey? You still getting paid? Isn't that what the kids say? Get that money. What's the issue now? But know your role. Be prepared to come off the bench. And if you're a non-starter, pay attention to what's going on. As a lot of people always say, you got to get ready to be ready to stay ready. And some guys that play that backup role are not always ready for that light, that shine, that moment. Maybe a few. I say less than 15% are ready for that moment they get that tap on the shoulder. Putting you in it there. Baseball, that pat on the ass. Putting you in it there. How does baseball pat so many people on the ass? Listen, another softball story. When I first got out of the Navy, world's finest Navy, United States Navy, I had a little routine, I want to ask. I played ball with a lot of people that were deemed not fit for society at one time, meaning they had done some prison time. I played ball with some badass dudes who today are some amazing people. But at one point in time, these dudes were like some people you wouldn't want to mess with. I hit one of them on the ass one day and could hit pow. And everybody cool would get hit on the ass, even in a sports moment. All right, that right there is brought to you by Mr. Blaine. I'm going to check out the latest episode of the podcast. I say about 7 years ago, I lived in Shreveport, Louisiana. And when I was there, I saw a different side of the South. I was there from April until August. I was there for 4 months. And working down there, meeting the people, playing softball down there. And I had the opportunity to meet this amazing young lady, Miss Needham, our sister girl. And she took me on this trip to Marshall, Texas. And we went to a college commencement. It was my first time in Marshall, Texas, by the way. But I went to Wiley College, the movie The Great Debaters with Denzel Washington. And I tell you what, the heat in Texas is real. That's real. That's some real damn heat there. And at that college commencement that I was at this auditorium, it was hot as that thing down there. But I'm looking around and I'm taking in the moment, capturing the moment, this whole thing. And I'm saying to myself, the Great Debaters was here at this school, this historically black college university here, Wiley College. I mean, just amazing. Just he said something pretty cool in that movie. By the way, Jesse Smollett, the guy who lied about the robbery and all that subway code Chicago, I didn't know that was his sister in the movie. That also played in Lovecraft Country. Didn't know that was his sister. Had no idea. Didn't know all of their siblings' names start with a J. Wow. Huh? The things you find out about people. But he said a great thing in that movie. He said, The greatest weakness in a man is doubt and not believing. Wow. Wow. I love that movie, The Great Debate. I love that movie. If I could do it all over again, I don't even know. Did Sumner High School even have a debate team? Did we? I don't know. But if I could do it all over again, I wish I would have joined a debate team in my teens. Give me a topic. Let's go. Let's get on. Let's go. Why should this be done? Why shouldn't that be done? But that movie is something else with Denzel Washington. I think it was his first directed movie, too. I think it was the first time he. Yeah, I think that was his directorial debut movie. Outstanding movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I will watch that anytime over Little Things. That may be one of the worst movies I've seen since Secret Window with Johnny Depp. Oh, God. You're talking about wasted time. John Turturro and Johnny Depp playing this movie Secret Window. With a cast like that, you would say, oh, I'm watching this. It's just like with Little Things. With a cast like that, you're like, oh, I'm watching this. And then you watch it, you're like, what the fuck? What happened? I've watched the movie 3 times. It gets worse and worse each time. That movie was horrible. What Marissa Torme said, my cousin Vinny, I bet the Chinese food here is terrible. I know my liver is coughing right now. The snow is outside. I miss Snow Day in Soulard, by the way. Snow Day in Soulard was the best ever. The best ever. What I mean by Snow Day, meaning there's school, the kids still going to school, but the parents are off work. Oh my God. And everybody would come to Soulard. And it would be a shit show. I'm talking, it's 11:30 a.m. and people are annihilated. Promptu house parties. Oh, I miss that about Soulard. I miss the island life. I miss the island life. I mean, a lot of people talk shit about Soulard, but the people that live there, those of you know who you are. You make it special and great. And I miss it down there so much. I got to have a Soulard day probably next week. I miss the peeps down there. Got to get me some real chicken fingers from 1860. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, man, for sure. My man Shane Preston with Rock Paper Podcast. Keep doing your thing. My man Cecil with his podcast. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing all these local podcasts I've been listening to, man. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. My man Scott from softball. My man. Anytime someone shares their podcast with me, I share it out to the people as well. That's that type of support that you have out there with each other from the podcasters that are doing their thing out there. Even got some friends over in London that I'm dealing with about a podcast. So I'm going to be on a podcast in London. When the pandemic breaks for the 55th birthday, I'm going to London. I'm up out of here. Peace. I'm going over there for the 5-5, the double nickel. If I'm not married. I hope I don't get married. I don't see me doing that. I cannot ever picture myself getting down on one knee with a box with a ring on it and saying, will you? I cannot. No. Too painful. Too painful. Marriage and a dog will never happen again for me. Never, but I'm getting me some fish. Give me some saltwater fish. Be a huge aquarium. Huge. Yeah, get me 6 fish in there. Yeah. Name them all after my kids. Is that wrong? Probably not. Not in my eyes or my world at all. But guys, it's Friday. It's the weekend. Johnny Kemp, somebody just got paid out there. Remember the days everybody got paid on Fridays? I hated that. I hated the fact when I was in the military, everybody knew when you got paid, the 1st and the 15th. You couldn't lie. I ain't got it. But you just got paid. How you? Everybody knows you get paid in the military. I hated that. And I hated jobs that paid me on Fridays. Oh, hated it. Yeah. But when you work for yourself, you get paid every day. All my self-employed people out there, small business owners, keep doing your thing, keep shining. Now, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to really push the issue about this upcoming softball show, The Point of Softball with Brumman. There's advertising opportunities available out there for you, title sponsorship. You can be right on here. All this whole little doohickey here. If you're down for it, hit me up. You know how to do it. In the words of my great grandpappy, if you're holding hands in public, there's something wrong with you. You guys have a great day and enjoy your weekend. And most importantly, appreciate the details of the day. Don't forget to check out the latest episode of my podcast, by the way. But you guys drive safe, be safe, and make them kids shovel that damn snow. That's what I'm talking about. Right there.com. Are we in there? All right. All right, guys. Enjoy.